Okay. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Page 128. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
To echo Gordon's words, Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you. Great to see you. Some of you I haven't seen in a little while. Chase, it's good to see you after, how long were you in Texas? Okay, well, I'm glad you're back. It's good to see your face. Kim and Anthony, I haven't seen you for a little while. Great to see you as well. I think most everyone else I've seen more recently, but I'm glad you're here. Oh, and Gordon, correct? Grant, sorry. I just met Grant tonight. What's that? Okay, good. Grant is visiting tonight, a friend of Judy's, and his pastor is the sister of Robin Denny, who spoke here a few weeks ago. Her sister Amy is a pastor. What's the name of the church again? Grace Episcopal. So, and we are graced to have Amy and Robin, such brilliant and warm pastors and colleagues of mine. So, welcome. I'd like to invite Susie Myers to come to the Bima to light our Shabbat candles, and you can follow along on page 120.
Shabbat. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Continue. There are 4 or 5 or 6 different Kabbalat Shabbat songs, as you know, and one of my favorite is Shalom Aleichem. I wanted to do that tonight, but would you rather do Lecha Dodi?
If you'd rather do that, then am I one to?
Yes. Who are you?
Who am I to question?
To publicly rebuke the rabbi. So let's do that. Page 142, Shalom Aleichem. May the angels of peace sit among us on this Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashavim, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teichem l'Shalom, Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 144.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach Hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei decho Beit Yisrael Bagala uv'izman kariv Ve'imeru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha Barichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram b'yama, v'imeru, Amen.
The call to worship the Baruch Hu is on page 146. Please rise.
Lie, la, la, lie, la, lie, la, la, lie. Lie, la, la, lie, la, lie, la, la, lie. Lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, lie, lie. Lie, la, la, lie, la, lie, la, lie, lie. Lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, lie, lie. Lie, la, lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Please remain standing and join me in English at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. And if you would flip the page, let's continue together in English at the bottom of page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we'll meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavavcha uv'chol nafshecha me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lektecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'od ha'yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein einecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kidoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We turn to page 158 for Micha Mocha.
Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bam. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bam. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bam. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha ne'edar b'kodesh. No ratahilot o sefele. No ratahilot o sefele. Mahalachutacha ra'uvanecha. Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bam. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bam. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bam.
Page 161. You know, I know I've talked before about how in certain medieval disputations between Jewish leaders and the Catholic Church, which were rooted in pretty deep-seated anti-Semitism, something that's very much on our minds these days, of course. One of the criticisms of Judaism by the church leaders was that Judaism was a religion of law and Christianity was a religion of love. But of course, when you study Judaism, like many other religions, love is deeply embedded in Jewish teaching. We just said a prayer called Ahavat Olam, which begins with the word love and ends with the word love. We chanted Ve'ahavta, which begins with the word love. And now, as night is descending, we always say this prayer, the Hashkivenu, which may not be about love directly, but is about the loving shelter that God provides for us every single night when we go to bed, the Sukkot Shalom, the Sukkah, or the shelter of peace. So let's bear that in mind, the idea of a loving God that is very much a part of Judaism, as we say first together in English on page 161, and then Gordon leads us in Hebrew, this prayer. Please join me. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkot Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom. Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom, Shalom. Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
The Amidah prayer is on page 164. If you are able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah HaChayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalalucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 648. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
At this point in our service, we pause to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our community or those known and loved by our congregation. Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Joshua Hyman, Diane Butler, Jesse Friedman, Marjorie Gilberg, Michael Blend, Jim Mates, Janet Marbury, Harriet Lehman, Brenda Flood, Bob Massey, Bill Lenish, Sharon Blevis, Sharon Hagan, Joan Elson, and Michael Edwards. And if there is anyone who wishes to add a name, I invite you to please do so. The Misha Barak prayer is on page 511.
Misheberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos again, and welcome Grant, as well as those of you who I haven't seen for a little while. You may know, because we're after Rosh Hashanah by quite a while now, but we're still in the book of Genesis. And a lot of Genesis involves these family narratives, these family dramas. But the Torah portion for this Shabbat is called Vayetze. And it opens with a famous, this is after Abraham and Isaac and Rebecca and Leah. And it opens with a famous scene of Jacob having his dream of this Sulam extending from heaven to earth. We have a member here, David Sulam. Does anyone know what Sulam means in Hebrew? It's usually translated as a ladder, but it could be a ramp, it could be a platform, something that connects two different points. So Jacob is at a dark point in his life. He has unjustly basically stolen his older brother Esau's birthright from him by manipulating his father, and he's been on the run for his life. So he's exhausted, he's depressed, he's scared. He goes to bed, he uses a rock as a pillow, and he has this dream where he sees angels going up and down this sulam, this ramp, this ladder between heaven and earth. We're going to be looking at this passage much more deeply tomorrow morning for Torah study. if you want to come and join me for that. And he has this epiphany. He sees these angels going up and down between heaven and earth. He sees this connective tissue between the two, this sulam, and he says, God was in this place, and I did not know. He realizes that even in this dark place, even in this place of fear and trembling and guilt, he is still able to find God. And he has an epiphany. And he ultimately changes in radical ways and becomes a fitting person to be next in the chain of Jewish genealogy to be one of the patriarchs of our people. So after this epiphany, the Torah portion moves on with the rest of the patriarch's family drama. And there are three main themes that make up Jacob's psychodrama. And it is a real psychodrama: deception, rivalry, and complexity. Deception. Jacob deceives his father Isaac, as I mentioned a moment ago, and steals his brother's birthright and also a blessing from his father. Laban, later on in the Torah, deceives Jacob. And in order for Jacob to marry the woman of his dreams, the woman he loves, Leah, he essentially becomes an indentured servant, almost a slave to his uncle for many, many, many years. So Jacob deceives his brother, and then Jacob's uncle deceives him. One of the big themes of this family drama. The next theme is rivalry. Jacob is envious of his brother Esau. That's why he steals his birthright from him. He wants the property. He wants the wealth that his father was originally going to give to his older brother. And Leah and Rachel, who ultimately become two wives of Jacob. They are in a rivalry themselves. They compete with each other for Jacob's love and affection. So rivalry is another big theme in this drama of Jacob and his family. And then finally, after deception and rivalry, is complexity. This is a very complicated family. Jacob was involved in what some today would call a polyamorous relationship. He had two wives and two concubines. And between these four women, or with these four women, Jacob had 13 different children. Pretty complicated family. 13 children with 4 different women. Sounds like Herschel Walker a little bit, maybe worse. Sorry, I had to. I apologize to any Herschel Walker fans out there. Now, why would the Torah depict one of the most important figures and families in this way? These depictions are certainly not simple, stable, or even healthy. And if they are not role models, if our flawed patriarchs and matriarchs are not role models, does our tradition want us to identify with aspects of their lives? Most of us know the experience of sibling rivalry. We know about favoritism. We know about misrepresentation and injustice. And we also know about occasional dysfunctionality. We see that in many families, and maybe even among those of us here tonight, we see a little dysfunctionality in our own families every once in a while. Maybe, just maybe, the Torah is trying to make us feel better about ourselves and our families by showing us that everyone, even our heroes, our founding fathers and our founding mothers, are flawed, imperfect, and human. And what a beautiful teaching, and what a great motivation to become better people, heal broken relationships, and build a more compassionate world. That is my takeaway of this Torah portion, and I hope it is something that you'll be able to think about on this Shabbat, and maybe even join me tomorrow morning as we explore this Torah portion in more depth together. We are going to continue with the Aleinu on page 586. Now, Gordon had to run off to a gig. He's very committed to us, but he's also a professional musician, so he's on his way to Sonoma. So you're stuck with me for the next couple of prayers, but I know Lynn is going to help me with the final song, So let's turn to page 586 for the Aleinu, and if you're able, please rise. Aleinu l'shabach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגוי הרצות, ולא שמנו משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. נאמר, היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. יום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. And thank you for hopefully drowning out my voice. I'm a little hoarse tonight. I would like to invite board member and CBS president, where are you? Roberta Solomon, to come read the announcements for us tonight. Is Roberta in the back there? Unless I have another volunteer who'd like to read our announcements. Judy, would you mind coming? You know what, Harriet, it's okay. Let's have Judy just come up and do it. Roberta's probably in the middle of getting the oneg ready. Talk about complicated family relationships.
Yeah, in case anyone wants to know, This is Eliza. Okay, tomorrow morning at 10:30, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Roberta, where are you? Tomorrow morning at 10:30, Torah study will be in person with Rabbi. This Sunday, religious school and Shorshim, come sit. Will resume at 9:30 a.m. The first session of Moving Traditions will be at 3:30 p.m. If you have a child in 6th or 7th grade, contact Leah Savage about participation. 7:30 p.m. on December 7th, please come for our speaker, Dr. Michael Harris, on the top.
It's my fault.
He gives me a look.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, that was very funny. Come for our speaker, Dr. Michael Harris, on the topic of ethnic studies in the public schools, what it means for the Jewish community. Sit. December 10th at 3 p.m., the second Saturday tribe will be hosted by the Petrick family at CBS with Rabbi Niles leading Judo, J-E-W, capital D-O. Learn some basic martial arts and have some fun along the way. Sunday, December 11th, religious school will have a special Hanukkah program grant beginning at 9:30 a.m., and then our children's choir with Gordon will welcome the community at 11:30 a.m. for a concert, sing-along, and special storytelling. From noon to 1 p.m., the Mishbucha Task Force will open the Hanukkah Cafe with treats and items for purchase. December 12th, Talking Jewish Tribe will meet at 10 Jewish Tribe will meet at 10 a.m. to discuss the topic, in what ways do you connect with the Jewish community? Also on Monday, Soul Sisters will meet on Zoom at 4 p.m. to discuss The Third Daughter by Talia Karner. And at 7:30 p.m. at CBS, we welcome Professor David Bialy, who will present on Hasidism, then and now. Busy day. Friday the 16th, come for a special Hanukkah season kickoff, Shabbat. Service will start at 5:30 p.m., followed by a light dinner and activities. Please RSVP online so we have a head count for food. December 18th at 4:30 p.m., For the first night of Hanukkah, join in the CBS candle lighting at Silverado Country Club with free hot beverages and treats paired with blessings and songs led by Gordon Lustig. If you're not exhausted, on Monday, December 19th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at CBS, we will host the second night lighting with Jewish Community Relations Council, where we have guests of elected and civic leadership. After the candle lighting ceremony, we will share in some delicious Hanukkah treats. RSVP is required. You can find the link online and in our weekly emails. Shabbat during Hanukkah on the 23rd will be led by Gordon, with a special drash given by Sally Besser. Saturday, the 24th, Erev Navidad is back, with Chinese dinner and a movie at CBS from 5 to 9 p.m. To register, please go online or contact Lauren in the office or Maxine Maluso. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to David Amar, Marcia Huber, Aaron Ladrigan, Sam Luris, Ophir Orr, and Sam Sparks. Happy anniversary to Bunny and Betty Goldstein, 65th anniversary. Wow.
It's a long time.
And Fred and Candace Hacker, their 44th. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a lot of announcements. Thank you, Judy. You know, December is usually a quiet time, but we have a couple of very important talks coming up this month, a lot of engaging programs, and then, of course, 4 or 5 different events during Hanukkah week. So a lot going on in this small congregation and small community. We're going to shift gears now as we think of those who are no longer with us, those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We think of those and honor those who have died during the past 12 months. Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rab Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Benko Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, Norman Charney, David Alpert, Renee Munoz, Michael Kossin, Paul Dworsky, Ed Eston, Micah Bicel, Jill Daly Katz, Gabriel Harrison Escalera, Colonel Ed West, Joe McCaffrey, Beverly Ogner, Ruth Morlett, and Lords Blake. We also remember the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Elvira Shore, Erlene M. Weibel, Rose Cohen, Benjamin Nehore, Joseph Bergheimer, Claire Stein, Lillian Fruitman, Herbert Pedrid, Mariam Mashadi, Bernard Charlip, and Joseph Costin. And if there is anyone either here or at home who would like to add a name, I invite you to please do so. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah be'alma divrach eratei v'yamlik malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lamei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say amen. Please be seated. And Linda, I understand you're going to be leading us in the final song and helping me.
Okay.
We're going to do Oseh Shalom, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's how the Kaddish ends.
And
And it's well known by most of us.
exactly. And may I say, your voice is fine.
Oh, well.
So there is no need
That's
to
because I was facing the ark.
apologize. Stop.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Please join me. Oh, say shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Why don't you stay up here with me?
Okay.
And let's do the Kiddush and Motzi. So we'll start with the Kiddush. Everyone, please rise.
Oh, thank you.
Just hold it. And in anticipation of the oneg waiting for us, please join us in the Kiddush. We'll do the short version. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Good. Thank you. Was it grape juice?
No.
Oh, real wine.
It was real wine.
Sometimes they sneak grape juice in there for me. Okay, let's do the Motzi together. Please join us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Okay, thank you. Would you bring this to the out there?
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
thank you. Appreciate it, Linda.
Oh, no worries. Did you come down with a cold from,
Carolyn got an ear infection. She's recovering. She's on antibiotics.